Welcome everyone. I would like to talk you through a few things for what we're doing today. Tomorrow, let's start with that. Tomorrow, you're taking your test. Today, there's a few things that I'd like you to do. So the first thing is what you should have picked up from the cart, a quiz. Now I'm calling it a quiz. It's really a check quiz. It's a formative quiz. It's a progress quiz. It's a how you doing on this stuff quiz. The only thing that let me say this. The only reason why I'm going to be looking at that quiz is because you say, hey, can you take a look to see if I did this right? Or, hey, I don't really understand this one. This is 100% for you to check your knowledge of this stuff at this point. At some point today, fairly soon, we will go through and I'll put the answers on the screen for you to check your work. Okay? These are things I expect you to be able to do on a test. Just so you know, tomorrow on your test, I'm probably not just going to ask you, is this a hypertonic solution, or is it a hyper, hypo, or iso? I'm probably going to say, is this hyper, hypo, or iso? And explain to me why it's a hypertonic solution. Explain to me why it's a hypotonic solution. Explain to me why you said it was an isotonic solution. That explanation of why it is. On tomorrow's test, I probably won't just ask you to say, hey, is water going to flow in, out of the cell? I'm going to ask, why is the water flowing in or out of the cell? Or is it staying the same? I'm going to ask for those explanations. So that's the first thing I want you to do. Okay? It's going to take you, depending on how good you are with this stuff, it's going to take you a couple minutes. Okay? At some point, we'll go through this together as a class. If you're watching me on video, I'll have the answers posted down below a little bit once this video is uploaded. Then on the back of that quiz, there are two links to get you to a Section 3 vocab Quizlet and a Section 4 vocab Quizlet. Okay? If you're watching on the video, you're going to have to access them through Canvas only. But the intent of those is for you to go through and study some vocab. There's a lot of vocab, especially in these last two sections. So I want you to practice those and reinforce those ideas. Another thing I want you to do is there's a Quizlet quiz for each section that I want you to go and take and submit a screenshot. Now I kind of have it outlined on the board, but it's also linked in Canvas, and it says that here's a stack of flashcards for you to study. Then there's a Quizlet test. If you don't get at least 70%, you should study some more and retake it until you do, then submit a screenshot. If it's below 70%, you need to take it again. If you get a, say, 72%, you say, hey, I can do better, study it, do it again, submit that screenshot. Now, there have been a few students that it's not working quite like I thought it would. When I click on this link, it takes me directly to a 14-question multiple choice test, which is what I wanted. For some students, it does do that. And for other students, when they get to it, they have to go through and choose it. And there's an option to hit test. And I just want you to make sure it's all 14 questions. And I want those to all be multiple choice questions. Okay, 14 multiple choice questions. And then when you go through and you take the quiz, and as you go through and you take your quiz, way down at the bottom of your 14 questions, there's this check your answers. Now if you have the app, it's going to look a little bit different. But the overall score is listed right there. I got a 21%. Means I don't know my Section 3 vocabulary very well, and I need to study some more, and I need to do it again. Okay, I want you to have a minimum score of 70%. So if you were like me and you got a 20%, then you can just hit create new test after you've studied some more, and after the edge pops up, it will regenerate a 14-question multiple choice test. Again, there are two different Quizlets tests for you to do. There's a Section 3 vocab, and there is a Section 4 Quizlet vocab test. There's two separate Quizlet tests. Submit two separate screenshots for your two separate Quizlet tests. Okay? Once you're done with that, yesterday in class, you went and I handed you a study guide. the study guide that I handed you is due tomorrow. I'm sorry, it's due tonight, 11:59. Just like these Quizlet tests are, just like that study guide, you should have those done because they're things that are going to help you prepare for your test that you're going to take tomorrow. Just like I've done with the other study guide, when you're done, there's Google Doc, there's a PDF version if you want that instead of the paper copy, but I do have the answer key posted, so if you are not sure what I'm asking or you're unsure if you answer the question correctly, I do have a key posted for you to reference when you're done. Now there's a difference in checking the box to say, hey, I got that PTL homework assignment done, and writing words because I copied it off of an answer key or I copied it off of a friend. That's not learning, that's called copying. It's not good for learning. So the intent of this stuff is to help you learn the material and to help reinforce the learning that we've done throughout the semester, or done throughout this system. So that's what I want you to work on. Once we go through the beaker sheet, which I'll give you a couple minutes, kind of once I get a pretty good feel on who's done and who's not done, we'll go through that. If you have your Quizlet tests done at that point, you're more than welcome to work with someone on your study guide. I'm okay with that. But for a little while, I want you working independently to kind of be working on those Quizlet. Those are your Quizlet tests, not, hey, how well does my friend know the vocab? And then we're going to go, and then you can work together on some stuff a little bit later in the class. Any questions about expectations? Again, I will go through and I'll put the quiz answers up on the screen a little bit. If you're watching the video, I'll have it posted down below.